On Basile, candidates in both parties have a little more than 2 weeks to win over voters before Election Day. Early voting is going on in many states across the country already. Earlier this week, I got out of the studio and went on the road to check in on one of the most talked about races this election cycle and catch up with Pennsylvania Senate candidate Dr. Mehmet Oz. Take a look. The Keystone State of Pennsylvania may hold the key for a Republican Senate majority, but Dr. Mehmet Oz has to get past his opponent, John Fetterman, first. We met up with him at the Astoria Diner in historic York. I asked him about the latest polls showing a dead heat and his message for undecided voters.
I know what to do about the economy. That's taking away our savings. I've got a better idea on what to do about crime. That's what the Fraternal Order of Police have endorsed me across the Commonwealth. And I've got better ideas what to do with the border. Oh, you got food!
It seems that part of the strategy is just get in the car and go as many places as possible. How many events have you done?
Oh, we've done probably 250 events. I lost count. We just go as hard as we can from morning till night, try to meet as many people, shake hands. Pictures actually work because people share their pictures. And we've got a lot of momentum, a lot of energy.
Hey.
I think he's a very sincere person. We need to get him voted in. We can't have Fetterman.
Our education got pushed back years by when they shut everything down and made us stay home from school, and we need to get it back somehow.
We also spoke with Marine Corps vet Dan Linkleiter, who says Dr. Oz is a role model for young people.
When you raise a family, you want to have someone aspire to like Dr. Oz. You sure as heck wouldn't want to have any of your kids aspire to be like his opponent.
Then it was off to Hanover, Pennsylvania, before a fundraising event. We talked about the fentanyl crisis and protecting the quality of American health care.
No family is safe. This happened over the weekend. Woman said her daughter was having some pain from Lyme disease, had something delivered to the mailbox, got it over Facebook. In it was fentanyl. They didn't know it. They found her blue and dead in the morning. It's tragic. It makes your heart ache. And yet we're tolerating it. And my opponent says we should legalize all drugs, which is shocking to me. You understand what happens when you allow people to take narcotics legally. You prevent the police from enforcing any type of safeguards, and you increase not just overdose death rates from fentanyl, but you also increase by 50%, as happened in Oregon, the homicide rate, because you create a lawlessness. What was most shocking to me during COVID was that we allowed politics and medicine to mix. When that happens, you get politics. The medicine gets suffocated. Doctors have to be autonomous. We can't have governors telling doctors how to prescribe medications. We don't want federal bureaucracy getting in the way of life-saving interventions. The doctor-patient relationship is precious. That covenant, it has to be treasured and it must be protected.
We were talking about doctors getting canceled. When people run for office, they find out who their real friends are. Okay? Particularly for somebody who's been in media like yourself. How hard has that been?
It was tough. There are a lot of people who I've had long relationships with who just couldn't see past the fact that I was a Republican. I thought that was more a commentary on them than me. I was trying to say what I thought this nation needed to hear as a political leader who has an interest in a deep, abiding love in America. My family came with nothing. My dad grew up on a dirt floor. This country provided my family opportunity. With a little innovation, a little grit, we were allowed to do what Americans have always done, succeed.
And then it was off to a packed Rotary luncheon. Backstage, more photos and the last-minute edition of a tie.
I always try to tell folks how they're going to express the importance of this election to their friends, because the most important thing they can do when they leave an event with me is to go tell 10 people how they're going to be able to affect the world by voting in this transformative election.
There's been an ideological block against carbon-based fuel, and it's wrong.
I was up in Erie talking to farmers. One of them came up and said, you know, for good or for bad, we got this. As many headaches as were happening in his life, he was still going to be there tomorrow, fighting for America, and he wanted me to do the same.
Since I didn't see him eat on the run all day, I asked Dr. Oz what keeps him going on the trail. He gave us a look. Appropriately enough, trail mix, some beef jerky.
beef jerky. This is beef jerky here. Beef jerky.
The most important move that we all as Americans, especially this transformative time, have to be is brave. We've got to say what we see. Too many Americans know that there's something wrong happening in their school, their place of work, the bar they go to, the diner they hang out at, but they won't say it because they don't want to get canceled. That's not American. I mean, the home of the brave. Why? Because you can't be free if you're not brave. It's imperative that we honor this country by telling the truth about what we see.
One town and one handshake at a time, Mehmet Oz is making his case. In less than 3 weeks, Pennsylvanians will know whether the doctor is in.
No crooked establishment.
None of that twisting the truth. No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax.
Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think.
They let me decide.
Newsmax.
Real news
For real people.